In this video, we show you how to use CAMWorks to create 3D engraving. First thing we want to do is look at our planes. It looks like we want plane number 2. Plane number 2 is on the bottom of this part. And we're just going to click and drag maybe 2 inches so that we have a plane above the top of the part. Then we'll go ahead and create a sketch. Clicking on the sketch of this plane, come up to the normal view, and what I basically want to do is draw a guideline for some text. I'll click on the guideline, and I'll come up to the tools, sketch entities, and we want to insert some text. Now what I want to do is take the cutter down the center line of the text. So if we were to type in CAMWorks and we come down and change our document font, and we select the CAMWorks font, and I'm going to set this to 0.5 in size. Here we see we have centerline font on this text. Now if you don't have the centerline font on the text, we can always go to Start, Settings, Control Panel, find your font settings, double click on the start your font settings, and then I'm just going to right click here and list details, and I'm going to find the CAMWorks font. You just double click on the CAMWorks font and click Done, and now the next time you go to insert or change the font type to CAMWorks, it will now show up in the window. So once we have our text, our font, we go ahead and select that. And here we have text that is elevated above the face. Going to hide this plane. Don't need to see it anymore. And now we'll go into and note that the name of the sketch. Next we will notice we have a plane 4. We will go to the CAMWorks tab. We'll right click on the stock manager and insert a mill part setup. And we're going to select plane number 4. Making sure that this arrow is pointing in the opposite direction. Once we have our mill part set up, I'm going to insert a multi-surface feature, select all the surfaces, and select insert. Then we're going to create a 2.5 axis feature. We'll call it a curve feature, and we're going to select the sketch of the CAMWorks font, and we'll select Next. Now the only thing necessary here is that you have this in the proper direction. So from the top of the font down towards the surface, that is the direction we want to apply this feature. None of these other conditions matter here at this time. We close this. We go to our machining tree, right click on the mill part setup, insert a 3-axis mill operation. We want to select an operation of curve project. We're going to project this text onto the surface and engrave it. I'll select the multi-surface feature and insert. We'll select a tool. Looks like I don't have one, so I'm going to have to add a ball nose, and let's say 0.125. And I'll just select the first tool here. You'll select the tool that you want to use. Select the ball nose. We'll go to curve project, and this is the depth of the engraving that you want to engrave. So I'm going to say negative 0.005, and we're going to put this at 0.001. Machine deviation, we're going to keep this within 1/1000ths. Set this to 0.1 here for retract. This is important that you set these links to 0. You can leave this at 0.1. That'll be your entry for your vertical lead in. And we're pretty much done here. We click OK, close. One thing that we have to add and tell the curve project is what we want to engrave. Thus the reason we created the curve feature. On a curve project, if you right click, you can add an engrave or a curve feature. You select this, click OK. Now we have this attached. All you have to do at this point is right click and generate your toolpath. And now a toolpath will be generated onto the surface and will be engraved into that part. Here I've added a pattern project operation to machine the surface, and then I've done the curve engrave, and so here you can see how this would be engraved into the surface.